Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the Golden Disc collection. So this is part 4, the final one, Deluxe Terrorsaur. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're going to do some comparisons with Air Razor, because this is the figure that they've used the mould with. It's very, very similar. We'll have a look at that. We'll also have a look at him compared with another Terrorsaur figure that I've got. I don't unfortunately have the original Beast Wars one, but what I will do is once we've got him out, we can do some more comparisons with some other of the War for Cybertron figures from the same toy line. So this came from Hasbro Pulse. It came today. It came a lot earlier than was expected. We weren't expecting these until about March time. We've got the lovely graphic detail there. Of course, that's the 1/4 of the Golden Disc, and these boxes will all piece together, and I'll do a video on that in the future. If we spin it around, we can also see that it comes around the side as well, and on the back we can see that this will take 22 steps, and by now you should be able to tell again that it's using a very similar mold, if not the same one, to Air Razor. Right, let's have a look then. So same with the other ones, to be honest. I don't know why, I was just really attracted to this Golden Disc set. I think it was the initial first two, to be honest, the Puffer and the Road Ranger. I just like the whole idea of that, and then Jackpot as well, with the fact that it was an Action Master figure that they'd made, you know, into a fully transforming figure. I just like the idea of that. And then with the other two as well, I can't say I've been disappointed, especially as I've really been impressed with a lot of the Beast figures from the Kingdom lineup. This is very interesting. That's partially alternate mode, isn't it? There's the other bonus, the gold disc, which is known as the Voyager disc. Apparently that's what they're saying in the production display, sorry, in the production description claim. And of course we've got the weapon there, and there is the rest of him. You can note, oh, there's something under there, we'll have a look at that in a second, but you can note now, in fact I'll carry on while I'm talking. I'm not going to bother untying it. I've got no intention of tying it back up, but what I was saying is you can now see that with the intention of the Hasbro not using any plastic, they don't use the plastic tie wraps, and of course for some people, funnily enough, someone commented on my Instagram today and they're not happy with it, in the new figures they're not going to have the windows, so there's going to be open boxes unless it's a leader class figure, and it will be a closed box. But again, it's for a good cause. Let's see which bits I need to take out. That probably shouldn't have fallen off, so I probably should have stopped the camera to do this, but I get a lot of comments from people who appreciate my honesty during my videos, and yeah, I'm just going to reconnect that there. But you can see, maybe if yours does the same, there's nothing to worry about. I'm just now going to quickly release the rest of these. So bear with us a second. So first impressions, I was not expecting him at all, as I'm sure you can imagine, to be packed in that particular mode. I was expecting him a bit like Air Razor to be in his alternate mode. And I've got the gun off. There is the gun, and I'm going to get the disc out now as well. But yeah, these are exclusives to Hasbro Pulse and Amazon. And what I'm going to do now then, we've seen all the contents, I'm just going to get him ready and we can do a first impressions. Okay then, so here he is in his alternate mode, and I've got to confess, you could probably tell by the first part of the video that I was completely thrown by the fact that he was pretty much packed in his alternate mode. So we're going to start off, we don't need to do first impressions because he pretty much is ready to go straight into. All I've had to do is fold out the wings, which you can see. Now, I've already had this bit fall out and fall off twice already. It literally, you saw it fall off, and again there, just when I opened up the package, it doesn't seem to be sticking or clicking in at all, so that is something to be aware of, and unfortunately it is a little bit negative. However, it is a very good looking alternate mode. We've got a beak that opens up there, which you can see. Obviously the wings have got a lot of range of motion. You can fold them all the way back, all the way over. This does turn in and out, but as we've just said and seen, it is going to fall off. I can see it's going to fall off again. And it doesn't look too bad, to be fair. You can definitely tell that it uses the Air Razor mold now, with the arms all tucked in underneath there. What we can do is we can take the weapon that comes with it, and you can see you've got a tab either side, and what you can actually do with this is you can attach this to the back of what is, I suppose, yeah, even the bird hips. You can put them there like so you can obviously put it in that side or in that side. And if you remember, there was that little paper bag full of something that I didn't know what it was. So I've opened them up and you've got these two little claws. Now, to be honest, you can attach them if you want. It is a bit of a pain in the bum. On the instructions here, you can see it is showing you that you can attach them still into what it looks like to be his forearms. Now, the only issue with this is it's really, really difficult. You can't have this gun there for a start. And if we take these, we've got to get these tiny, tiny little bits. You've got to move the legs completely out of the way, push it in. You can see how awkward it is. I did have a little go of it off camera beforehand, but I wanted to show you guys again, just to give you an idea of just, that's really difficult. Then spin it around. I'll do the same on the other side, just so you can see it with them in there. I would definitely recommend doing this, because otherwise, if you're going to be displaying it in this mode, you probably are going to lose them. But you can see for yourself, and I've got quite small hands, this would be really quite difficult. There you go. And let's just see if the gun will then fit as well still. Yep, it will. So it's not too bad, to be honest. It is a little fiddly, it is a little finicky, but otherwise it's a pretty good alternate mode, to be fair. It really is. I do like that. So there we go. Not too bad at all. And all we need to do then is we just need to come back with him in robot mode. We could do some comparisons and have a real detailed look at him in that mode as well. Okay guys, here we go then, back for the final time in his robot mode, because this is the way that I'm going to be displaying him, and he looks really, really impressive. One thing I was concerned about is the fact that I thought I might have trouble balancing him, because there's quite a lot, as you'll see, back kibble on him there, and he's got these really small spindly legs, but even on carpet you could see that he balances really well. Apologies for no transformation process in this video. It will be uploaded separately, so I don't spoil it for anybody who doesn't want to know it. Now, I've intentionally left out one of these again, just to show you that you can then attach these afterwards, and I think that it just finishes off the robot mode perfectly. They look brilliant. The head sculpt is brilliant, and of course rocks backwards and forwards, turns all the way around if you wanted it to. You've got the shoulder articulation, you've got the bicep articulation, you've got twisting at the top of the elbow and underneath, well, above the elbow as well. You've got waist swivel, you've got hips, you've got knees, you've got ankles. As you'd expect, you've got full articulation. There's no point going into any more detail with these newer figures, because they've all pretty much got it. The issue that I did have when I transformed it is, of course, this wing, and it really is, for me, it's not sitting. All I've got to do is just raise it out like that, and it's come off. You can see there that there's a gap underneath already. There you go. It's fallen off without any, well, definitely not roughness. I wasn't rough with it at all. So that's a negative, unfortunately. Maybe it's just mine, I don't know. Now, let's show you his weapon. And of course, there's a number of ways you can use this. The best way, I'm sure you'll agree, is just pop it in his hand and pose it. Now, initially, I mean, you can do if you wanted to, but I would think it's going to look pretty silly. This was where it was attached when he was in his alternate mode. You can, of course, do exactly the same. And yeah, it does, it looks a bit silly. However, with the same tab, there's a similar cutout there on the back of the wing, so you can, if you want to, I suppose it's a bit like a holster, holstering it there, and it will stay in place. But I don't even see the point in that, to be honest. I think if you're going to be displaying him in this particular mode, he's got to have this in his hand. You can do the same on the other side if you want. Maybe if you wanted to maybe use a Battle Master or, you know, fossilize it, maybe that would be a reason. But otherwise, I see no reason at all why to not put the gun in his hand. Right, let's hope he stays there for a second. Let's do a couple of quick comparisons. The first one is with the BotCon version of Terrorsaur, and apart from the head sculpt looking quite similar, there's nothing else really similar about that at all, because this guy's obviously a jet. And if we just get up Air Razor quickly, this of course is what the mold is pretty much based on. It's a heavily retooled version of that mold. You can pretty much tell in the legs, but as you can see, this figure is much bigger. You obviously can't fold the pterodactyl's head down in his chest like the bird's one is there, but the wings are pretty much the same. And again, the transformation process is, it looks good. I'm impressed with it, and I think he fits nicely in you know, with the rest of these particular figures that are beasts, whether they be, you know, actual animals like Cheetor, or, you know, mutant ones like mutant Cybertron, etc. They just seem to have gone a little bit wacky but in my opinion, they've got away with it as well. There we go. So in summary, I like him. He's different enough for me than this guy. In fact, he's a lot different, and I'm glad that I've been able to put them two right by each other so you can see just how different he is. Of course, he completes the collection as well, and again, I suppose unfortunately he is a Amazon, I believe, in some areas, and of course a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, so you might not be able to get him as easily as some of the other figures, but if you can track him down and you don't have a pterosaur like I don't, I think he's definitely worth pulling the trigger on. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed looking at him. Hope I helped with your decision. Let me know what you thought of it and if you're going to be getting one yourself, and of course, please take care. Thanks for watching. Like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.